Good morning. All right, always lots of news here. Juicy stuff. All right, so obviously something dominating the news cycle right now is the existence of alleged memo from former FBI Director James Comey about his discussions with President Trump and the president requesting that he end the investigation into Michael Flynn. We don't know if this memo exists. No one has seen this memo. It may exist. House Oversight Chairman Jason Chaffetz said that he's ready to issue a subpoena for this memo. So this will create probably the call for even more hearings. One thing about Congress is that it doesn't really take much before they say, they will call for a hearing at the drop of a hat. This goes for both Republicans and Democrats. I mean, guy gets pulled off a plane, we need a hearing. You stub your toe or somebody runs over your foot or whatever. Let's call for a hearing on safety. I don't know. Just kind of ridiculous nonsense stuff that a lot comes up. But I think Congress loves to have hearings because it makes it seem that they're actually doing something when they never really are. And really, but maybe that's a good thing sometimes for them to have the hearings to distract them from doing other things that could really harm us in the long run. So, whether or not this memo exists, I have no idea at this point. We shall see this, but this is all coming on the heels of the alleged leak, by the president on intelligence to the Russians relating to ISIS. It is apparently that it's Israel was the source of this information, and Israel's now concerned about what they would be willing to share going forward. This, in conjunction with the Comey memo, has whipped liberals up into a frenzy about impeachment under obstruction of justice charge, even though there is no definitive evidence on this at all. But we'd leave it to the liberals, leave it to the media to go and jump on the train, the bandwagon, before there's any proof of anything, any wrongdoing of any kind. So we'll have to be talking about that and beating that whole thing down. Just let me say that when it's Maxine Waters leading the charge on impeachment, I think you know exactly where the impeachment movement stands. I mean, she can't get Nancy Pelosi on board, and other Democratic leaders are still shying away from this. Bernie Sanders, they're not ready to call for impeachment at this stage, and they're definitely no fans of Trump. But they know that they do this now, this would certainly ridicule the party, decimate the party. The last thing they need is they're trying to make some inroads in 2018 and 2020. So this is just whipped up by a bunch of crazy liberals, leftists at this point. Michael Moore, our favorite liberal leftist filmmaker, is going to come out with yet another film. He's partnering up with the Weinstein brothers, and they're going to create a movie called Fahrenheit 11/9, focusing in on the election of President Trump. So this is talking about November 9th. This is a follow-up, I guess, in a way, to his Fahrenheit 9/11 film, which focused in on George W. Bush and everything that surrounded the 9/11 tragedy and his presidency. So this is directed strictly as being an anti-Trump, let's bring down the president type of movie. Don't know how long it'll be. The previous Fahrenheit movie was about 29 minutes, so he could be replicating that movie length for this upcoming movie, which will take several months at the very least to film and produce. But he's got an agenda, and we know what that is. Senator John Cornyn from Texas has withdrawn his name from consideration as the next FBI director. I think this is a good move on his part. I have not been a fan of this potential nomination at all. Senator Cornyn, even though he has a good background as a judge, this is not, after serving as a senator, Republican senator, a partisan guy, this is the last thing you need as an FBI director, and I think this would have been very hard, even in the Senate, with his Senate colleagues, to get him approved, because I think they're looking for someone who is a little bit more middle of the road and shows that they know will be independent of the White House in their investigations going forward. And that was, I think Senator Cornyn has got, he's a man of great integrity, but there would have been a long shadow cast over him for his senatorial experience and his service that would have made it hard for him to seem impartial when he needed to be impartial. And then finally, sports note, NBA draft lottery took place last night. My son says this is a rigged game, and the Boston Celtics, who had the best chance of winning the number one pick, did indeed get the number one pick last night, and making the New York Nets seem like utter fools for having traded that away. But that is what happens in the NBA, is that trades are made based on the future. Celtics, they could use a little bit more help. They've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is great for them, but they're going to need a little more firepower, a little more help if they actually expect to make a run to get to the finals themselves, and even remotely think about winning another title, for Boston. So we'll have to wait and see exactly who they pick, though, in the end, and make sure that they keep that pick. It'd be an extremely valuable pick, but I have no doubt that they will. Anyway, having seen what the Wizards did with their picks, they didn't. That was mixed in terms of their results, but it has the chance to transform a franchise, and not that the Celtics need transformation at this point. They've had a pretty good season, obviously, but this next pick could be one that really cements them and really makes them the undeniable favorite going forward, and gives the Cavaliers some exceptional competition. So that's about it. If you're in the DMV, stay cool. We're getting apparently a couple of days of 90-degree temperatures, so quite a reversal from just a week ago when we were in the 50s and 60s. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of AC turned on in the area. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope my wife doesn't get so hot that she's going to be turning that on as well. I'm a cheapskate when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I'll be fighting back with that with every breath I take to try to keep my AC bill from going out of whack. All right, have a great day. Stay safe. Stay cool.